Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA. In today's real user review, we are going to be taking a look at the Rhodes Boone Wedge Chelsea boot from Huckberry. Now, Huckberry did send me these as a sample full review, but all of the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Huckberry prior to publication. They will see this when you do. Now, this boot, it might look familiar like I just reviewed it, but that's because I did its brother, the lug version of the boot. Now, they are different leathers, but this boot here is what set me into really loving Chelsea boots. Now, I will say I did see Boots Jeans in the Odd Watch or Nifty Thrifty, if you're on Instagram, wearing these in a different colorway with the wedge sole, and I was like, man, that looks so comfortable. I gotta try it. So I reached out to Huckberry, and they did agree to send me the wedge version as well. And I love it. It's great. It's a great boot. It's a great style of boot. I slept on Chelsea's for a very, very long time because I didn't like the aesthetic of it. I didn't like the look of the elastic band on the boot. I just thought it looked funny. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't like this because they don't like the elastic, not because the aesthetic reason. They think it's going to wear out. And while, yes, the elastic will probably wear out far before the leather or rubber soles, I personally have not had much of an issue with elastic wearing out. I have plenty of like super old hoodies, like 20, 25-year-old hoodies, where most of the elastic in those cuffs and collars, they're still fine after all that time with excessive wear. And this is a much better grade elastic. So I don't think the elastic is going to be an issue with wearing out, but for me, it was the aesthetics. And then I got the lug version, and I tried them on, and man, it's so easy. Because even though now I do wear mostly boots with laces, I hate to tie my shoes. Growing up, I'd always get my skate shoes, I'd get them set, and I'd kick them on and off. I would never untie them and never retie them. I'd slide them on and off, which is the reason when I got those Wellingtons, those Double H 2555s up there, when I was in my early 20s, I fell in love with them because I didn't have to tie them. I could just slide them on. Now they are a higher boot, cowboy boot, so I can't really wear them in the summer. I run a little too hot. Enter the Chelsea's when I got the lug version. It's lower, it's incredibly comfortable, and I could slide it on and off without having to tie anything. So I really fell in love with Chelsea's, and I slept on them for years and years and years. So now I'm in love with them, and I wanted to try yet another pair with a different sole because I was actually wearing the lugs quite a bit. Now, for me, these have been like my by-the-door shoe. I've been leaving these by the back door, which is where we generally kick off our shoes. It's our little mud room. It's our laundry room / mud room. So they've just been back there by the door. So they've been in pretty heavy rotation with a couple other pairs of boots. You know, while I'm letting one pair rebound, maybe I will wear these to work, but I'll throw them on if it was snowing out or something. I generally wear like an outdoor slipper boot when I'm walking the dog in the morning if it's cold. But if it's a little snowy, because it's wintry conditions, still we're getting some flurries even though the weather's starting to warm up, I would toss these on because they give me a little bit better traction in the snow than my worn out slipper boots. So they've been by the door, thrown on for dog walks. Yes, I have worn them to work, and just running out the door if I got to run an errand, going grocery shopping on the weekends. I'm throwing these on because they're so convenient to slide on and off. So they've just been by the door, and it's been like my go-to run out the door boot. Now, I will say I did suffer a little bit of damage on these recently. I was helping a friend move a chest of drawers in his mother-in-law's house, and we had moving straps, but the chest of drawers was quite long, so it didn't work out really well. And as I was walking up the stairs, his strap came up and started to choke him, and then we dropped it, and it promptly fell on my toes, and I got a little bit of scuffing and scarring, if you will, on the toe of my right boot. But because I had on a boot and not a sneaker, I didn't crush my toes. Now, these are not a safety toe. They do crush. They are crushable. But I feel very strongly had I had on a pair of Vans that day, I probably would have broken my big toe because it was quite heavy and it was solid wood. So the boots saved my hide, or my toes at least, and they suffered a little bit of war wounds from that incident. But to be honest, I think it just adds to the boots and makes them look a little bit better. Now, you can also see there is quite a bit of crocking on these boots, and that's because I wore these with my Gustin Indigo Shishiko pants without thinking the one day. I had on a lightly colored leather boot, and I had on the Shishiko pants, which croc quite a bit. My hands turn blue when I wear those pants, and yeah, that was basically like one day of wear. I've worn them since, basically whenever I threw those when I was wearing those jeans or those pants, I was wearing these boots since I already crocked them. So it didn't really get worse That was basically what it looked like after one day of wearing these with those pants. So I turned these into when I was wearing the Monster Shishikos, I was either wearing these or a dark colored engineer boot, so you couldn't see any of the crocking. And I don't mind it though. Personally, I like the way it looks when it starts to get this patina to it. You could tell I'm wearing the boots. I'm not babying these things. Now, the only issue I had with these was the same issue I had with the lug version, and that would be the insoles that come in them. I don't know what I thought I had one laying around, but what happened was the same thing with the lug, was the insoles that come in with these, they are foam back with a leather top, and they are incredibly thick. And for me, they made the shoes uncomfortable. There were just too much insole. So with the lug, I had just laying around, I think it's an Adidas maybe? I could probably see it in there. It's all worn off. It says underneath, I think it's like an Adidas skate shoe insole that I had an old pair of Adidas shoes that I liked, and they wore out, and the insoles were still comfortable, so I saved the insoles. So I had those laying around. I threw them in those boots, and then when I got the wedge version, same thing, the insole was just too thick. But what happened was I had another pair of boots where the insoles were not too thin, but the boots, they're an engineer boot, and the boot was a little bit too big. So I ended up, I have a pair of Rose Anvil leather boot breakers, 3mm in here now, which were in the other pair of boots. So I swapped the insoles from the Rhodes into the engineer boots. Now the engineer boots fit great, and I put the Rose Anvil leather boot breakers, which I'll show you. I'll pull it out and show you if I can get it out. It's settled in there really well. So I put the Rose Anvil leather boot breakers into the Rhodes boot, and now both boots fit great. So the insoles that came in these were a little bit too thick, so I switched them out. I now have a 3mm Veg Tan leather insole in the boots, the Rose Anvil leather boot breakers, and they fit great. So my only point of note was the insoles are a little bit too thick. I swapped them out, and now perfect fit. Now, comfortability since the flip is great. I wear these quite a bit. Again, these are by the back door, so I'm wearing these often when I'm just walking out the door, grab and go. I just slide my feet in and out the door I go. And currently at the time of filming, the Huck Brown version that I am wearing here is coming in at $213 USD and is still available in a full size run. The Soil Sahara version is coming in at $198, but in limited sizes. And the black version is coming in at $125 and is still available in most sizes. All of these boots are handcrafted in Leon, Mexico. They all feature a resolable Goodyear welt with a Vyrum 2060 Sport outsole that, as Huckberry says, is ideal for keeping long walks comfortable, and I can say that yes, they are comfortable to wear both for long walks and for wearing them all day long. The uppers are all LWG certified bovine leathers with bovine leather lining, a leather midsole. They come with a leather-lined removable PU insole that I swapped out in both of my pairs. The stretchy bits are a double gore elastic, and as I already said, these are made in Leon, Mexico. Now, the normal non-sale price for this boot across all the colorways is $250, and I'd say that is a fair price for this boot on a regular day. These are made in Leon, Mexico. It is world famous for their leather goods. They're known for making bags, belts, boots, shoes, all sorts of leather goods. Leon, Mexico is world famous for their leather crafting. I've had several pairs of Rhodes boots now, and I'd say 90% of them have been home runs. Yes, I'd have to swap out the insoles, but that's going to be something you may have to do with any boot, no matter what brand, you may have to swap out insoles. So now that these are on sale, it's kind of like a no-brainer. If you're looking at them, I'd say snag them. Seems like they're starting to sell out because when I looked yesterday to prep for this, there were more sizes available in the black. I think they're currently only out of 2 sizes, but yesterday they were only out of, I think, the 8s. Now they're out of 8 and 8.5. So they are starting to sell out, and it probably won't be restocked until the fall. So if you want them, I'd say jump on them now. But it's been incredibly comfortable. You can see I'm wearing it. I'm not babying it. You can see there's bruising on the toe, crocking. I do have my standard heel wear that I got. Both boots. This happens on all my boots. The way I walk, I wear out the boots on the outside of my heel. So I'm wearing these. Yeah, there's nick on the side here. They're getting worn. They're getting used. They're getting some good use, actually. And yeah, they're really comfortable. I like them. I'm a big fan of Chelsea boots now. My eyes have been opened, and I don't know why I slept on a Chelsea boot for so long. So yeah, Huckberry, putting out pretty good products. Rhodes is an in-house brand of Huckberry. If you're unaware of that, I don't think I said that up top, but Rhodes is one of the in-house brands of Huckberry, so it's one of the brands that they own. But yeah, it's a good, comfortable, sturdy boot. I mean, I've got two versions of the same boot that are very similar leathers and colorways. That's how much I like it, that I requested to have a second pair sent out. And both, you can see, both getting crocked. I mean, this is more so from a pair of Ironheart jeans, but both, you can see they're getting worn, they're getting used. I like them both. I like them a lot. I'm probably going to be swapping these out interchangeably. What my idea here is, keep one of these pairs always by the back door so I can just slide them on, and I'll probably just swap out here or there if I want to put the lug by the door or the wedge by the door, because they're both great and they're both going to keep getting worn and used. So yeah, if you look at them, pick them up. I don't think you will be disappointed. I certainly was not. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.